Because, yeah, you may be a bad bitch now, but when the real bad bitches were alive, before HIV took them out of here, or before violence took them out of here, before drug overdose took them out of here, before fucking suicide took them out of here, you was a scared little bitch at the end of the runway until my old Miss Thing came out, I'm not gonna walk.
Got the right bitch, no lefty, walking my truth, don't fuck with my 17, crawl for you, walk, run it, catch me, got a sharp tongue, spit it, machete. Meet the people your name and pronouns.
It's me, Denise Infiniti, your girl, your fucking controversial comedian, your most outspoken icon. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And yeah.
Y'all already know that you are mother of the House of Infiniti, right?
Yes, yes. I am the last overall mother. The house was hot in the 90s and the early 2000s. Right now, the only our house is known next to the House of Extravaganza for having making the most Hispanic legends in Ballroom. And there has been a lot of memorable moments made by the House of Infiniti. The icon Brian Infiniti was the first person to win Open to All Face $4,000 in 1999.
Brian Infiniti was the first to win Open to All Face
$4,000. He sat down all the femme queens, all the other butch queens. It was fucking amazing. It's on YouTube. Also with Bizarre, we're also known for having some of the realest femme queens. And I'm you know, a testament to that. But yeah, so we, you know, the only person that's really walking right now, because I even, you know, I'm semi-retired from Ballroom, is John, who walks labels, best dressed, runway. He is a pioneer. He has superseded being an icon. But you know, he is one of the Ballroom treasures. You know, he started out as an extravaganza from back in the Elks Lodge era, which was Elks Lodge era with like it's Paris is Burning and all that. I think he started walking functions in like 79, 80, and 40 years in, he's still walking balls today. He's overall Father Infiniti, and he turns it out every single fucking time.
Right. Were you in any other houses throughout your Ballroom tenure?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It just so happens that Infiniti was my first house, and it's the house that I'm in now, after 23 years in Ballroom. But I was a Jordan Zion. I was a Quran for about 3 years. I was a Legacy. I was an Ebony for 2 weeks. Yeah. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it.
Now I know that members of the Ballroom community tend to move around the country a lot. Where are you from originally?
New York City, born and bred.
And you're still there now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just curious.
But I've been to balls all over the country though. I've been to balls all over the country. I'm well known. I would say globally because bitch, I'm Denise Infiniti. But you know what I mean? I've been to balls all over the country, so I'm well known by the headline ball walkers in New York, in the US.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that I got to know you before I knew a lot of your history, so that I wasn't starstruck. You know.
Oh yeah, but please don't be starstruck. I'm just another regular motherfucker from around the West. I've been telling people this for years. You know what I mean? We're in a community, we're in a scene where well, at the time, it may not be publicized around the world, but you have your stars. It's like kind of like, you know, the star statements and legends things, but you have the people who you look up to, the people who you want to see. You have your Ballroom celebrities. They may not be on TV at the time, but there's the people you still get, you know, you still get starstruck. You know what I mean? It's the same type of fever that you get as an actual Hollywood movie star You know what I mean? It's the same shit, just in a smaller pond. It's like, you know, small big fish, small pond. You know what I mean? Big pond, small fish. You know, it's kind of like that same type of dynamic.
Yeah, I definitely get it. Where do you, as far as ballroom classifications, you know, butch queen, femme queen, of course I know, but tell the people where do you fall in those classifications?
Femme queen. Femme queen. I'm a femme queen, femme queening.
What has been your favorite ball thus far? Your favorite experience at a ball?
My most memorable ball would have to be the POCC ball of 2000 at the WWE. Well, at the time it was the WWE World. Right now it's the Hard Rock Cafe, and that was the first time I went to a major ball to see so many icons and legends. I saw Tracy Africa that night. I'll never forget being chopped by RR Chanel for Butch Queen and Drag's Realness. I'll never forget the scandal that was Femme Queen Realness that night, watching Jasmine, at the time she was a Givenchy, sit down Octavia for Face, watching my sister, Sunny Infiniti, sit down all like 50 Femme Queens for Femme Queen Realness. It was a fucking night to remember. And when it came to ballroom, even till this day, I compare every ball that I go to that one. That one set the bar for me.
Was your favorite moment that you witnessed? Was it at that ball?
No. I think my most memorable moments that I absolutely love would be watching Stephanie Milan walk labels. Every time watching Stephanie Milan walk, well, she's I think a Mugler now, but watching Stephanie walk labels, she's a caricature.
Shoes are Fendi. My side is a Christian Dior. My dress is Roberto Cavalli. My first word is Cavalli. My show, Roberto Cavalli. My hat, Phyllis Tracy. My eyewear, La Perla. Sorasti, my earrings, Sorasti. My band, Sorasti.
And what house you in?
Brown.
I know you.
And this is my queen. flavor.
The bad queen.
Fendi.
And who is this by?
Chula flavor.
The breakfast.
Oh, chula flavor.
The earring. The underwear.
Chula.
The leg. The necklace. The shoe. She's not talking about it. What is this label with motherfucking motherfucking bitch? I know. Second, oh shit, oh shit. I told you! Bitch, I know my lady always comes up here, bitch. I want to sit and watch it. I told you! This is like a novella, bitch. She's Erica Kane, bitch. Novellas. One night to live, bitch. General hospital for the rest of the girls. It's Patches.
And don't forget about this motherfucking track. Correcto, Cavani.
Bitch, listen, put in that top, bitch. Get her dress right now, please. I want to know what she's wearing, so I want to know what she's wearing. Ladies and gentlemen, while we have bringing this attention, go upstairs and get yourself a drink if you have paid the VIP, but if you did not, feel sorry for you. All right, we ready? There we go. We ready? Wait. We're check out something with the belt, too. Okay, hold on a second. She got more? Are we ready? And go, son! It's not there, right there. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Come here, bitch. You got to wait a minute.
Wow, bitch, you can tell me what you want. I'll let you know what I'm wearing. What you want
Oh, darling.
Valentino.
The dress, darling.
Bottega Veneta.
The shoes, darling.
Valentino.
The purse, darling.
Fendi. Just like the first one that I just came with.
Anything else?
What other call, bitch? Oh, the undergarment, you know what it is, bitch? I love to have an expensive waist like I do right now. I'm not kidding.
And just watching her walk labels, watching Simone Prada, she's a Margiela now, walk labels. There was a time at the Latex Ball where Simone was walking against Britney, and Simone started yelling, "No more wire hangers," because Britney's, whatchamacallit, like the hanger rack that she had her clothes on had wire hangers, and the whole shit was falling apart. It was fucking hilarious. Watching the battles between fucking Stephanie and Jessica Evisu, you know, when Jessica was like, well, no woman is sure at night, and if you're a really rich bitch, you have to have La Perla underwear. Stephanie comes, lifts up her fucking skirt, shows the thong in her ass, and yells, and the commentator yells over the fucking mic, La Perla. Shit like that. I mean, I love voguing. It's great. I think everything is too saturated with it, but there's like hidden gems in ballroom, like moments like that, where with the labels battles, moments with the runway battles. There was a time also at that POCC World where Tyra, or better known as Dominique Jackson, where she walked runway in just a fucking rainbow flag on her breast and rainbow flag on her ass and her crotch as a loincloth, and she sat down London Allure. At the time she was a Allure, she was a butch queen, just standing in a mannequin pose and turning slowly for run. Like, shit is insane. We don't have moments like that no more, and those are moments that got me, a bitch that told, I need to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. I want to be there. I want to be that. I need it. I want it.
Tell us, what is your category? What category made your status?
When I first started, I started walking Butch Queen and Drag's Realness. It wasn't successful for me. They kept thinking that I was a femme queen. So I stopped for a year, came back as a femme queen, and won Femme Queen Realness in 22 times within my first year out of the gate in ballroom as a femme queen. In major balls and mini balls, all different types of realness: banji cunt, church girl, executive, schoolgirl, team realness. And then I wasn't fulfilled there. I started walking Big Girl's Face, was successful in that. Then I started walking Big Girl's Runway, won that of the year in many different states. Dipped and dabbled in Sex Siren, dipped and dabbled in Foot and Eyewear, dipped and dabbled in Best Dress. But Big Girl's Face, Big Girl's Runway, Big Girl's Realness will always be my home.
What was the first? You said the first category that you walked was Drag's Realness, right? Do you feel like you've accomplished your goal in ballroom thus far?
At first, I didn't. And I was sitting and talking to somebody. As a matter of fact, I was sitting and talking to Baron Milan. He's kind of like my grandmother. And we were talking about him and his accomplishments being one of the first Caucasian legends in ballroom. And he is a legend and an icon for Bazaar. Very well respected, very well liked. Everyone loves him. And, you know, he was like, well, you know, me being a white man in ballroom and, you know, the scene wasn't set up for me and it was a uphill battle and stuff like that. And I get it. But I was like, you know, Baron, you should be in the Hall of Fame. And he's like, but you know, Dee, do you think it's really my time? And I sat there and I ran down his resume for him. And he was like, bitch, you're right. I should be there. And then I sat back and I was like, wait, bitch, let me do the same thing for myself. And then do. And I was like, wait, I deserve everything, that all the flowers that I'm getting. I deserve icon status. I deserve all this shit. And by God, I'll tell you one thing, bitch. I don't have to sit back and wait for someone to give me my flowers. Bitch, I'm not dead yet. I can buy my own bouquet. And here's the thing. You know, there's a lot of controversy with icons and legends and people, you know, overnight legends, pop-up legends and shit like that. But one thing I tell everybody, no one will ever contest your status if you know your resume. No one will ever contest your status by someone else who's seen and was there with you holding your hand through your resume. Bitch, everything that I've accomplished is on it. Bitch, it's on YouTube. The battles, the blood, the sweat, the tears, bitch, the runway, everything is already there. So I'm just waiting for somebody to say, bitch, you're not an icon. Okay. Well, it was me, Kelly, and Jennifer who raised the bar for big girls categories. It's us three that started walking. That is the reason why every fucking house in Ballroom wanted one token big girl to come and take us out the loop. The reason why a lot of big girls categories are popular now, because honestly, from the 90s, everything that didn't fit the cookie cutter mold, they would only let like one person through. And that would be the representation for that. So, you know what I mean? In the 80s, you had Candy La Beja. She was the token big girl. You had Monica Extravaganza, which was the token Spanish big girl. Then coming into the 90s, you had Sandy Dior. Then you had Brenda Revlon. But when 2000 came, it was Kelly and Jennifer. They were walking. Kelly was walking runway. Jennifer was walking face. I came in walking realness. Then it just started a whole big clusterfuck, bitch, because it was the three of us constantly battling each other. Constantly. The face battles between me and Jennifer, rest in peace, were fucking insane. The face battles, the runway battles, the realness battles between me and Kelly were fucking insane. Then everyone else started bringing that's when like there was an explosion of big girls after that. Then you started really getting into like big girls face, big girls realness, big girls runway, big girls sex siren, big girls all this stuff. But the explosion came from the constant battles between me, Jennifer, and Kelly in New York.
What has been your favorite ballroom moment that you witnessed, that you were there to see?
I can't just name one. I mean, I can't just name one. There were so many.
Well, give us one of your legendary moments. One of the moments that made your status.
When I walked big girls face, body, and triple threat face, body, and realness against Jennifer in Boston. I came as Matron Mama Morton from Chicago. And When You're Good to Mama came down the staircase to It's Over For Me. It's over for me, bitch. I was done. I was beautiful. And then Jennifer came out, and it was I just laid across the stage and just sealed it. It just sealed it, and that was one of my most memorable moments. My most memorable moments.
How long has it been for you?
22 years, 22, 23 years.
Have you ever dated in ballroom?
Once. I will never do that shit again.
Who was
it? It was a trans man. It was a trans man. And he came in after I already like had my status and stuff like that. Me and him dated for very briefly before he started walking balls. And then when he started walking balls, at first I didn't fucking believe it. Till he started sending me clips of him walking, and I'm like, really, bro? Really? And then he's like, yeah, well, you know, I almost won this one, I almost won that one. I give him tips here and there, but I will always love him. I'm not going to mention who he is, but I will always love him. I will always have love for him. I will always give him encouragement and give him a push and tell him, you know, the little things, knickknacks, things that he can do to, you know, to have the upper hand in his category until he's battling one of my boys.
How long did it last? How long did y'all date?
But I mean,
Gotcha.
you know, we had we aren't really in contact anymore because he's seeing somebody. It's serious, but you know, we did have an on and off again intimate relationship for a while. So yeah.
how have you been able to afford
Oh, I was a whore. Yeah, I was a whore, honey. Did porno
Okay.
in the whole 9 yards, honey. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part, most of my money came from the sex work. I always had a job though. But the thing is, you know, when first of all, let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. A woman, what in whatever facet of or career she's in, she's not going to make as much as a man would. And I'm saying this, you know, in bringing up that last video that you posted where I was, you know, discussing the differences between a trans man's life versus a trans woman's life. It's always been easier for trans guys, and I constantly tell people that where we shed our motherfucking masculinity and our male privilege and toss it to the side of the road to be who we truly are, you know what I mean? You pick it up and you start a whole new life of, you know, getting your way almost all the time. When it comes to the gender class system, a male is held at higher regard than a female. I was always given the shaft, but I was always grateful to have a job because, you know what I mean, things could get worse. I knew I did not want to sex work all my life because, you know what I mean, it's very dangerous. I've been through a lot of shit sex working. I don't regret nothing that I've done in my life, none of it. I like who I am today. And if I regret anything, that's to regret the makeup of who I am today, and I love me. So I don't regret nothing. I always had a hard time keeping the job too. And one thing I always realized was that the strip is always going to be there. Sex work is always going to be there. Having an actual job is not. And I was working before I even had a name change. So imagine that when your boss asks you, why does a girl like you have a man's name? And having to explain that and still keep your job the next week.
If you could change anything about Ballroom, what would it be? If I could change
anything about Ballroom, what would it be? I would put the proper people in the place that they need to be, that is that reflects their Ballroom resume. There's a lot of people out there that have waited too long to be a legend. There's a lot of people out there that are not, that had a legendary moment, maybe legends, but are being called icons that are not icons. There are a lot of people out there doing a lot of the moving and shaking for Ballroom who necessarily did not do a lot of the moving and shaking or don't have the resume that they say that they do when certain people were alive. Because, yeah, you may be a bad bitch now, but when the real bad bitches were alive, before HIV took them out of here, or before violence took them out of here, before drug overdose took them out of here, before fucking suicide took them out of here, you was a scared little bitch at the end of the runway until my old Miss Thing came out, I'm not gonna walk. Miss Thing, the last couple seconds when a fucking commentator is counting down are reserved for bad bitches and legends. If you're not a bad bitch or a legend, don't wait till 3, 2, 1. Bring your motherfucking mediocre ass out there during Tech 9E. Because it's so much easier to get a 10 when you're mediocre during 10, 9, 8 than it will ever be thinking you're the bad bitch. Or 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's lackluster.
Do you think that there's a lot of that in Ballroom now, with the fact that a lot of the people who have made some of Ballroom's biggest moments are no longer here? Do you feel like a lot of the people in charge now, or a lot of the people who want to be in charge now, do you feel like they have been sort of the weaker
No,
links?
it's not a. I think it's a matter of people wanting to be in charge when in reality no one's in charge. No one's in charge. You're gatekeeping something that's not meant to be gate kept. You are, you're giving a pass to mediocre people because they're your girlfriend, but the bitches who are really turning it, the bitches who are really, really getting the crowd on their feet, the bitches who people really want to see, you're giving them a hard way to go. Be fair, straight.
Yep.
Across the board.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people who were supposed to win that did not. And let me tell you something, where there is no shame in not winning a ball, I will tell you right now, with the way that Ballroom has been since I've been around, I would rather not win and have the whole fucking crowd and everybody who's seen that ball think that I won instead of winning and not being remembered. There's been a lot of motherfucking balls that I didn't win, bitch, but I was remembered.
How have you dealt with the shade and the politics in Ballroom?
How I dealt with the shade and the politics? Being authentic, knowing my truth, knowing the truth. Realizing that a good warrior knows that they're not going to win every battle. Be honest with what you bring to the table. Be honest with what you have accomplished. Be honest with what you've seen, even if you were not a part of it. Be honest. Because if you're not, nobody may tell it to you to your face. But bitch, when you turn around, is she serious? When you die, bitch, you remember when she said that she was never that girl. I don't know where the fuck she was never that girl. She was feeling it. Be honest. I can sit here. You know what I mean? I don't have to diminish anyone else's shine in order to shine along with them.
What do you think that
Absolutely,
there's a drug problem in Ballroom?
There always has been.
What about predators?
There always has been.
Have you experienced that? Do you feel like how old were you when you came out in Ballroom?
I transitioned at 15, 16. I think I walked my first ball at 17, came back out at 19, and was unstoppable for like my first like 3-4 years. Then, I started, dibbling, dabbling into other categories. But there's always been a predator problem. But, the thing is that femme queens have a different experience with Ballroom than the butch queens. I think the butch queens, it was clear that there was a predator issue. With femme queens, the thing was, you constantly had butch queens. You was constantly the butch queens would live vicariously through you. Whether if it was the glamour, getting you dolled up, you know what I mean? It was just living vicariously through you and through your experience on the runway. There's so many femme queens that I know that had butch queens paying for them to get pumped, paying for them to get all these fucking these stuff done, paying for them to get their hormone shots, paying for implants, paying for fucking for all this surge, and to the point where, you know what I mean, it was so handed to them that they either, A, moved too fast, or they wound up getting used to that experience of everything being handed on a silver platter. So now they have this one goddess complex where they start using people, and that's just who they are. That's their nature. That's all they know. It's just I'm a femme queen. I'm a legend. I'm an icon. Give it to me. Just cause I am who I am. No, bitch. You gotta work for shit just like everybody else.
What about colorism and anti-blackness, especially now that ballroom is becoming more
There's
universal?
always been colorism and anti-blackness. Remember, for a very long time, black was considered ugly, nasty, dirty. It was not something that anybody wanted. Let me tell you something. You know, the young man before I came up was saying, you know, that he didn't really experience it. And I wrote in the comments and I said, if there was no colorism in ballroom, you would never have the phrase pumping through like white woman. If there was no colorism in ballroom, they would not celebrate the bone straight hair over the curly hair, over the afro. I've seen many of beautiful, beautiful chocolate skinned girls in ballroom. But they tone down their blackness. They tone down their ethnic features. They constantly want a nose job. They want this. They want high. You know what I mean, baby? Let me tell you something. If there's nothing wrong with your face, don't touch it. Don't touch it. I'm a daughter of the crock pot method. Subtlety, little changes here and there. Let that shit simmer. Go and look, there's stages to it. I'm not a microwave girl. I don't believe in the microwave method because the microwave method brings on regret. Regret brings on resentment. You don't want to resent your transition because in resenting your transition, you then start to resent yourself.